Welcome to the first episode of the REVA Experience. Real women, real shifts, real conversations. I'm your host, Rosemary Evangelista, and I'm so thrilled to have you here today. This space is all about uncovering your spark, especially when life has you asking, now what? Today's conversation is close to my heart because we're exploring the shared healing journey of both women and men, the struggles we carry, the masks we wear, and the possibilities that open up when we choose to live with purpose and authenticity. My guest today is someone who brings her heart, depth, and clarity to this path. Adele is a powerful guide for men navigating emotional healing, self-discovery, and transformation. With deep compassion and insight, she helps her clients break through old conditioning and rediscover their truth and purpose. Her work gently challenges the outdated belief that men need to tough it out and tough it out alone, and instead opens space for authentic expression, emotional healing, and soul-aligned living. The beautiful part? Much of what she supports men with mirrors the very work I do with women. So today, we're bridging those worlds in a conversation that I know will inspire you. Adele, welcome to the podcast. I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you for having me.
So, Adele, you've been working with men for a number of years now. And because we both work with people navigating their transitions in life, what was a moment of personal shift or awakening for you that shaped the path you walk today?
Well, it just goes back to childhood. I had more male friends than I had female friends. Then I went into the career world, and for those who are watching, Calgary's oil and gas, very masculine, and even the women who were in oil and gas were masculine. So I've kind of just been surrounded by the men.
That's interesting. What else led you to that, to go to the path that you're in, besides being surrounded?
Well, recently, it's within the networking field that they actually called me out. They said everyone works with women. Pardon me. And I said, "Oh, that's too bad." And they're like, will you work with us?" And I go, "Absolutely, absolutely." Because, and what I like about working with men too is that when they decide what they want, they're straight shooters, right? They'll ask you, "Are you a safe space?" "Yes." "Can you understand where I'm coming from?" "Yes." "Will you judge me?" "No." Will you hold me how I need you to hold me? Even on Zoom, I hold the energy of it. "Yes." Right? And then they're like, "We're good."
And how does that relate to some of the women that you may be dealing with?
They take longer to decide. They get stuck in their stories more. And it's all good. Like, it's not right or wrong either way. It's all how we process, right? So the difference with where I really started stepping up with men is because women have that coffee time with their girlfriends, or they're going to go hang out and do yoga together with their girlfriends. They'll talk, right? They'll text each other. Men might go to the football game. They're still only talking about the football game.
Yeah.
They might go for a beer and play some pool. They're talking about the pool game. Right? To get men to open up, it is a place where they feel absolutely safe. And it saddens me to say sometimes that's not with their loved ones.
Yeah.
Right? Like, they love their wife. They love their wife or their partner like unconditionally, but they still don't feel safe. And it's also like even for young boys, right? With parents, it's like girls will come home and they go blah, blah, and they just rattle it all off as they're going to their next event. Like, and you're like, what? Boys talk just before bedtime, right? They might even be in their bed and you go in and say goodnight to them. Don't rush them. Go and sit on their bed. How was your day? Want to talk about anything? Just keep it light and they will open up if they're ready. You can't push boys or men. Because if you do, they put the wall up and they're not talking to you. You're not safe.
So true. Yeah.
Right? And I even had an incident the other day that I was asking somebody, like, so where are you going? What's going on? And it was immediately the wall came up and I said, honey, like, and I'll be fair, like it was my nephew, and I go, I just want you to be happy. Just because something happened to a friend of yours doesn't mean you put your life on hold. It's sad, but they're going to be okay. So choose your happiness. That's not meaning you're not supporting others around you. And this is where I find men don't have that option, because I've been told, well, they never asked if I want to stay home with kids. Women just said, I'm staying home with the kids. Didn't matter that she might have been making more money. And I'm like, that's a discussion. How are you marrying people? Right? I just talked to another lady, as you talk about working with the women. The ink wasn't even dry on her divorce. Like, it was so fresh. The ink wasn't dry. And I said, well, what was the ultimate reason? He was retiring. He wanted me at home. I'm not shutting down my company.
Oh, boy.
And he fought it so much they divorced. So now he's retiring to come home to an empty house.
Because the communication wasn't there, right?
Because he wanted her home. He was coming home. And she goes, I'm not ready to shut down.
Yeah.
My company's thriving. Right? And that's the difference too with an entrepreneur to a employee, right? The employee comes home and work is done. The entrepreneur is kind of working all the time, has more flexibility, right? And yeah, so it was really sad. Like, he had the job, I'm retiring, and she's like, I'm an entrepreneur. My clients aren't stopping because you're coming home. And so it is the communication. It's how we're speaking to each other. It's how we're, more importantly, listening.
That's the key, isn't it? We can talk, but what are we listening to or shutting out?
Right? So I remember a client years ago, I said, make an appointment with your husband. And her face said, I'm not making an appointment with my husband. I said, okay, choose divorce in 3 years. Talk through lawyers. Why are you saying that? I go, men are single focused. If they're working on the car, they don't hear you walk through the garage and say something. Right? Mm-hmm. So make an appointment with your wife or your husband. Get it on the calendar. 15 minutes a week, half an hour a week. What's going on with the cars? Who has appointments? Where are the kids going? What's happening at either one of your jobs or careers? Just get that undivided attention on the calendar at the same time every week. Guess what? Your house won't cave in. The toilet won't overflow. Right? Like, you don't understand how many things can be dealt with in that dedicated time of your relationship. Right. Even dating, if you're just starting to date, have that time separate to when you're going out, that you talk about, where's this relationship going? Are we having kids? What's your financial status? All those things that you need to know.
And those are things a lot of people just don't want to talk about, whether it's men or women. Because I don't know if they just feel that it's not necessary, that they assume that the other person understands. But again, it comes back to lack of communication.
But it also comes back to women. I haven't found any men yet. There probably are, but I haven't found them. Who buy things, stick them in their closet, don't take the tags off, because they're going to see if their husband freaks out about the bill. Because if the husband's paying the Visa bill and he's like, you can't keep your shopping, they go back.
Interesting.
And that's a whole other dynamic, because not only is there no communication, it's also like a father, like a parent-child relationship happening. Mm-hmm. It's also addiction, right?
Yeah.
Because you have to, you have that compulsion to shop and do stuff that no. And personally, I was just listening to a podcast where they said, 95% of us, if not 100% of us, were addicted to something.
Oh, I'm sure. Something. Exactly. Yeah. Whether it's some
too much TV, too much phone,
or a certain food that's not good for you. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's a very good statistic.
Yeah.
So I know when I deal with women who feel disconnected, and obviously men would feel disconnected in their relationships, right? Mm-hmm. So when they're disconnected from their purpose or their identity, whether it's a job loss or a change in the relationship, there's a quiet inner crisis going on, whether both of them realize it or one. What's one of the first gentle steps you offer to help them reconnect?
It's all about turning inward.
How do you do that?
A crisis can't happen if we're looking inward. And how do we do that? There's many ways. The simplest way to stop, take 3 deep belly breaths. Get connected back into your breath. Get connected back into your body. Get connected to, I'm sitting, I'm standing, what am I doing? And right now, the changes are happening so fast on this earth that the healers, the light workers, the whatever you want to call us, we're doing it every hour on the hour. From rise to good night. And still, that's not enough.
Yeah, I'm certainly feeling a lot of these energy changes, and I'm sure a lot of people are, and just wondering, what's it all about? How can I help myself? How can I help somebody else who's maybe they observing somebody really struggling? Mm-hmm. So.
But we also got to remember, if we're observing somebody struggling, look inward. Where are we struggling?
Yeah.
Right?
Because it's often a mirror effect, isn't it? So
everything's a mirror.
Yeah.
Nothing outside of us has anything to do with us. If we are within our body and within our knowingness and centeredness, nothing is beyond this body. And it was really interesting because there was a medical intuitive that was giving a reading, and she even said, stop going out for readings. They can't help you. Right? She goes, and that's coming from me, who's giving you a reading on this show right now. And they both had a chuckle over it because she says, it has nothing to do with the reading. Come home. And that's my bigger signature program, is walking people home to them. Male, female, I don't care, even a dog. Right? Like, and a dog's a perfect example. If your energy's off, that dog isn't going to sit. That dog's going to listen to you. It's going to spin and freak out, and right?
That's true. They really
but if
sense
you're
our
calm,
energy.
right? You're calm. And that's why horses are used so much in healing. Because they're gentle giants of just calm, peaceful energy. Right? You have a horse bucking and rearing and whatever. It's not the horse. They're saying, get back home. Come home to you. We'll be cool.
So your program then would help them get back to themselves, back home.
Yes.
Yeah. And how long is your program?
This one is an 8-week program. And it's not that I don't work with the women. I'm just getting the men going, and the women who are supporting those men, I will absolutely run a class for them. But
that's important to balance that out, right?
Yeah.
Because
I got to get the men through this particular program to see where they're sitting at, and if their respective partners or whatever, or kids even, saying, whoa, Dad's changed so much, I don't know how to react with him.
right.
I'll run a program for the women to help balance it. And that's the main thing. You said it right out. We have to become balanced in our humanness.
Yes. Absolutely.
We've been so out of balance for so long. And this, you can look at generations back, right? Of when we've been in the masculine too much, a big change for 20 years will happen in society. Where the feminine come up to get us back on track, get us more nurturing, get us more kind, collaborative, community.
That's what's lacking. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know, I met somebody that has lived in her house for 15 years. She wouldn't recognize her neighbors.
Wow.
I said, the people like right next door. Yeah, no. Everyone drives into their garage, puts the door down before the cars even shut off, and walk into their house.
And don't even communicate. Wow, that's sad.
Yeah. And here's a crazier thing. So obviously in the Northern Hemisphere, we're having spring. First day of summer today.
Yeah.
And 2 days ago, there was a post from our police. Break and enters are up 85%.
Whoa.
Caption, they're not breaking in. We've left our doors open because we're out in the backyard, but the garage is open from the front. They go through the house. You don't even know they've been in your house.
Interesting. Yeah. That's how often does that happen? Yeah. Because you're home, but you're not looking at the front. You're out the back.
Yeah. And you can't hear them out back.
Oh my goodness.
So if you take your tools from the garage, shut down your garage.
Yeah.
Is it a pain? Yeah, it is.
You always have a side door in the garage. Usually.
Well, some.
Yeah.
Right? But you put it down. Go to the back, do your thing, come in the house.
Well, that's a good point for the listeners. Make sure if you're working in the backyard this summer, especially in the Northern Hemisphere, close your garage door. Wow.
Well, yeah, and just keep your doors closed.
Yeah. That's sad because years ago you could leave your doors open. Oh,
Oh, it hasn't been for years.
maybe decades ago
Yeah.
you could.
But
And I
that's
guess
when,
again, it
but
depends.
hang on. Yeah, that's when we knew our neighbors.
Yeah. That's when we were out, because we didn't have all the technology that was distracting us so much, and our kids were distracting them from getting out and meeting other people.
And it's funny because I walk my neighborhood every day, and like there's cars passing me honking, and I'm like, not a clue, but I'll say hi because and maybe they're thinking I'm somebody else. I don't know, but if you honk and you kind of slow down and I see a hand wave, like I'm like, okay, wave. I have
sounds
no
like
idea
a
who you
friendly
are.
neighborhood.
Yeah, I have no idea who you are.
But that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
Sharing the positive energies, right?
Well, and that's the point, right? And so, like, I was even at an appointment today, and before I went, they said, "Are you okay with dogs?" I'm like, "Absolutely, right?" Because I love their energy, and I can hear them. And I barely even got in the door, and this little one comes running up. I'm like, "Well, aren't you the cutest little fur ball?" Right? And then I'm in the room having my meeting, and then the other dogs came and sat right on the door frame. And she commented, she goes, "They never do this." I go, "It's me." Not to blow my own horn. And she's like, "Pardon?" I said, "They feel my energy. They know I'm safe." And she's like, "Interesting."
Oh yes, animals are very intuitive.
Yeah.
They sense the energies.
Yeah.
So if you could share one soul deep truth or encouragement with someone listening right now, someone who's quietly wondering, is there more for me? What would that message be?
I would say, absolutely, there's more for you. And how I know this is you're not broken. You are in the stage of awakening to your divine blueprint of why you came to take a suit.
Very nice.
Right? And that's the biggest thing is we're here to do our own work, to find the truth of our unique inner gifts to be shining to the world. There's no more tomorrow for that. Today.
How can people reach you if they're interested in one of your courses?
Well, the easiest way is through LinkedIn.
Okay.
I'm the most active on it. Or you can just use the book a one-to-one above my head, and would love to talk to you and have a discussion to see, first of all, where you'd fit in one of my programs and how to help you the best for you to be able to come home. And that could be a one-on-one, that could be in my men's program, and that could be the 90-day private one-on-one coaching for 90 days. So
excellent. So yeah. You can they can scan the QR codes that are showing on your screen, and I'll also put the links in the below so that anybody can reach out to you.
And you can also follow my podcast of on YouTube with Transition Clarity, or Authentic Conversations with Adele on your Spotify or iHeartRadio. Or
excellent, you're everywhere.
I'm everywhere except for Apple. Can't figure that one out.
Oh dear. I'm sure you will.
It's all good.
It's all good. It's all good. So Adele, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom, your heart, and your journey with us today. To those listening, whether you're a woman or a man, whether you're in the middle of a life shift or quietly wondering if there's more, know this: you are not alone and you are not broken. There is a path forward that honors your truth, your healing, and your purpose. If today's conversation sparked something within you, I invite you to take one small step. Journal what came up, reach out for support, or simply sit with the question, what part of me is ready to be seen, loved, and reclaimed? Until next time, keep looking for the sparkle in your day, and remember, you are enough and your journey matters.
Thank you.